Showers likely throughout the day with patchy fog possible. The high around 55. Meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings. Your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Hey everybody, this is Chris Beecham from Brand Lincoln Podcast and Perch Merch, your go-to in Lincoln for printing and promotional needs. Speaking of that, we are running a huge hoodie sale now through November 30th to save you big money on great brands. 20% off everything from Nike and Bella Canvas pullovers to Gildan and Port & Company sweatshirts and district fleeces. Get yours for your group or organization today by calling us at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Our Nebraska public school teachers make a difference in our communities. I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. I see it every day, teachers connecting on a personal level with students and parents to support learning and growth. Our kids do better, community pride grows, Nebraska thrives. Our public schools rank in the top 10 nationally year after year. Strong public schools create strong communities.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey guys, it's Austin with 93.7 The Ticket. We've got another NFL Sunday triple header for you, starting with the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Denver Broncos at noon. The afternoon game will feature the NFC East as the Dallas Cowboys host the Philadelphia Eagles at 3:30 Central. It's the visitors favored by a touchdown. Like last week, Sunday Night Football is a matchup between the NFC North and AFC South as Houston hosts Detroit at 7:15 p.m. You can catch all the biggest NFL games right here on Lincoln's home for the NFL, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Fall is officially here, and Brown Shoe Fit has just the right style and comfort your feet deserve. Stop in and see a wide selection of all your favorite brands, including Brooks, Hoka, Echo, Keen, and many more. At Brown Shoe Fit, they'll take the time to measure your feet to ensure a proper fit. They also have the largest selection of Uggs and Hokas in Lincoln. Brown Shoe Fit, 6060 Q in Lincoln.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everidge. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into a glorious Friday edition of the Adam Carriker Show.
The Loaded Show. It's like a 2-for-1 special each and every day because yours truly talks so fast. It's like you're getting 2 hours in 1 hour. Ladies and gentlemen, the Adam Carriker Show, The Loaded Show. The show that gives you unique insights, unbridled honesty. Producer Jake is wide awake today, so we're going to have a whole lot of fun. Producer Jake and I, each and every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Check out Steve Taylor on Wednesdays, noon to 1 p.m. Central Time, live in studio. Ladies and gentlemen, grab your lunch. Come join us. Things we talk about. Husker sports, college football, sports, life, and whatever the heck pops up as well. All right. Today, well, let me give a shout out real quick, as always, to the ticket. All right. Appreciate them having me on. Carriker Chronicles, carrikerchronicles.com. Type in YouTube, Carriker Chronicles. All right. Today, what's on the docket? We're going to be discussing Matt Rhule's tough decisions. This last month of the season is going to be one hell of an evaluation process for every single coach at that program, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So Matt Rhule's tough decisions. We're going to chat some recruiting because Matt Rhule's out recruiting right now. That's what he's doing. All right, bye weeks are loaded with recruiting, especially for head coaches. So I don't talk a whole lot of recruiting, all right? But I thought I might do that today. Also, Tony White's future. So much has been focused on the offensive side of the ball. So much has been focused on the play calling, screens, no screens. You know we ran 12 screens versus Ohio State. You know how many we ran versus UCLA, Jake?
No.
0.
Yeah, it didn't seem like too many. None?
0. I have thoughts on that. I'm just going to let that set out in the universe. How do you go from 12 to 0? All right. And so I think in this process, like, do people even know the defensive analyst? Do you find folks that are listening, whether you're driving, whether you're on the tube of you, whether you're on a podcast platform, whether you're following on TV. By the way, if you can see me and you think your job sucks, check out my shirt. It could always be worse. The fact of the matter is, most people probably can't even tell me the defensive analyst we brought in because so much focus has been put on Dana Holgorsen, and rightfully so. So we're going to chat about that. And I don't think they brought in a guy to move Tony White out. That's not why I think they brought him in. There's still a chance Tony White is going to be a head coach one day. There's still a chance. I know. It's like if we don't talk about it, it won't happen, right? Why? Why, Adam? Are you the one guy under God's hot sun that will talk about this? Why? Because it's the real world, and whether we talk about it or not, it's still a possibility. So I can't help but wonder if there is a chance, and let me be clear, I hope we score 30-plus points a game. I hope we go 3-0. I hope our defense blanks everybody and scores 42 defensive touchdowns the next 3 weeks, and everybody can stay. I am rooting for success for the people that are here. Ultimately, it'd be better. Just figure things out. Things go well. Everybody stays. Everybody would be happy. Life would be so much easier. Does that seem likely, Jake?
No.
Are the odds in that favor?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I try to live in the real world. All right? I do my best, you know. I wasn't big into superheroes growing up. I preferred Peter Pan because I never wanted to grow up, and that's 100% true, by the way. All right? I was never big into superheroes. I also liked WWE wrestlers. Why? Because you could actually go meet them. All right? Nothing but love to superheroes. Just not my thing. My point is simply this. The odds are there's going to be major changes in about a month. And if Tony White's going to be head coach one day, if he's not here next year, which I will fight, scratch, and claw, I don't know how much difference it'll make, but do everything I can to keep him here. Essentially, I'm just going to yell and scream that they need to pay him more. That's what I'm going to do with not my money. But if he's not here, I can't help but wonder if they may be brought in as a contingency plan, our potential next defensive coordinator. A guy, by the way, who has been Matt Rhule's defensive coordinator 3 times before. Temple, Baylor, Carolina Panthers. All right. So let's start with some of Rhule's tough decisions. I think not making a move at the offensive coordinator position as soon as most folks, including myself, would have liked, specifically play calling. I think that's bothered some folks, including myself. I think it's like, all right, can he make the tough decisions? Is he too close to these coaches? Are they too good of friends? All fair. bringing in Dana Holgorsen tells me that he's got a contingency plan, if not already a plan set in motion on offense. He definitely has a contingency plan on defense because all of us want Tony back. All right. Now, for those who are like, oh, the defense hasn't played as good as last year, you're not wrong. Last year, they were 11th in the country in defense. This year, they're 14th. They're the only defense in the country that's top 10 in the sacks and top 15 in turnovers. So, yes, would they like to have the second half of Illinois back? Yes. The first 2.5 quarters of UCLA back? Yes. By the way, they shut them down the last quarter and a half. All right. And would they like to have the entire Indiana game back? Yes, everybody involved in Nebraska football would like to have that entire game back. But of the 36 quarters we played, they've actually played really, really good football for 28. And no, you want to bat higher than that. Okay. But the year before Tony White got here, the defense was 100th in the country. Exactly. So just keep that in mind. So for me, in a perfect world, we keep Tony White. Okay. If that doesn't happen, who is the probable defensive coordinator? The way it would seem, the contingency plan that seems to be put in place is Phil Snow. Now, this is an individual who's coached for a very long time. All right. This is an individual who has been his defensive coordinator, Rhule's defensive coordinator at Temple, 2013 to 2016. So there's 4 years. Also a safeties coach. All right. He was at Baylor, where he was his defensive coordinator for the next 2 seasons. And then he was his defensive coordinator for 3 years at the Carolina Panthers. So we are talking nearly a decade of rapport between Matt Rhule and Phil Snow, if necessary. It makes sense that if you're not completely sure what's going to go on with Coach White, because he's going to have opportunities, this seems like the logical contingency plan. And honestly, people aren't as educated, including myself. I'm learning more about him. All right. Troy Dannon, in a recent interview, called him a, and I quote, legend, end quote. Now, those were his words. Obviously, he's going to be optimistic, but I don't think it's a bad contingency plan at all. But you look at the offense, there's got to be either a drastic improvement, which is probably not realistic over the next month, or there needs to be changes, one or the other. So for me, if you look at the possibility of Dana Holgorsen being the offensive coordinator, obviously that is something that could help Dylan Rhule drastically. The passing game has struggled as the season has gone along. We don't have many guys open. When they have been open recently, they've been missed. I would argue this, what I mentioned yesterday on the show, which is the simplification of things. All right, sometimes more is just more. Sometimes more is too much, and sometimes less becomes more because you think less, play faster. And then maybe our 2-minute offense doesn't take 4 minutes to score from our own 46, and maybe it doesn't take 10 plays to score inside the opponent's 10-yard line. And thank God UCLA gave us 3 personal foul penalties, which led to 3 touchdowns. All of our touchdowns, by the way. So for me, Matt Rhule has some tough decisions. I think he's got some things in place. There are some question marks in his ability to maybe make tough decisions. I can't help but wonder if he's just waiting till the end of the year, because his philosophy is I don't do things during the season. He's made it very clear. He is going to stick to that. Now, it's more than just the coordinators. You've got to look at the position coaches. You've got to look at the offensive position coaches. I detailed yesterday the amount of quarterback coaching experience that is on this team, offensive coordinator experience that is on this team. Did you have any idea the numbers were that high until I put them out there yesterday, Jake?
No, I didn't add them up that much.
Like 38 years of offensive coordinator experience. Now the Holgersons here, between Thomas, Holgorsen, Satterfield, and Rhule. I think people forget Rhule was a quarterback's coach at one point, offensive coordinator at one point, also an offensive line coach, defensive line coach. I like the eclectic versatility that Rhule has as a coach. It helps a head coach. But as far as specifically quarterbacks, you want someone who's obviously really good at quarterbacks. 35 years as far as a quarterback's coach, combined experience between these 4 men, 38 between the 4 men as offensive coordinators. And Holgorsen has only coached quarterbacks, wide receivers when he's done position-specific coaching. That's all he's ever coached. Probably a main reason he's really good at passing offenses. So for me, there's tough decisions that need to be made. Coordinator-wise, there's tough decisions that need to be made when you're talking about the assistant coaches as well. It just is what it is. It's part of the job. You know, I think I mentioned this on a previous show. Nobody feels bad for the plumber if he gets let go because he can't fix the pipes. And I'm not trying to be down here. I'm just trying to be honest and realistic. Come next week, all of a sudden, we're going to look at USC. And we're going to look at a team that's 4-5. And we're going to look at the team that they're talking about don't have identity. And we're talking about a head coach that's under an insane amount of scrutiny out there in USC. And we're talking about a team that all 5 of their losses have been by 1 score. And they led in the fourth quarter of each and every one of those games. So there's not a lack of similarities between USC and Nebraska at this point. I am aware that USC is an 8.5-point favorite as it opened up. But they're starting a new quarterback. They benched their starter. Like, they're a favorite for a reason. I've also watched that team lose to Minnesota. I've also watched that team lose to Maryland. Decent teams, nothing special. I don't think they have anything that Nebraska doesn't. So coming off a bye week for them, coming off a bye week for us, I hope we handle the bye week a lot better. One of those 2 teams is going to get some momentum going forward. I'll talk about that more next week. So I'm not trying to be doom and gloom, but my thought, as I was thinking yesterday, man, nobody's talking about what if Tony's not the DC as much as we want him to be. I think Matt's got a contingency plan. All right. Holgerson, I know folks want Nebraska to run the ball. I want Nebraska to run the ball. Our last 4 games, ladies and gentlemen, we've averaged 2.8 yards per carry. I mean, good God. So for me, I want an offense that works. I just do. I just want an offense that works. He has proven he can do that. So there are men here who are trying to win games and trying to save their jobs for University of Nebraska. So I'm going to throw one thing out there, and I'm just going to let it lie and then move on. Because out of respect for the men who are still here doing their jobs, I'm just going to throw it out there and then move on. Jake, next year, the possibility, if everything works out perfectly, and hopefully we win the more games the rest of the year, but just as far as off-season moves, what would you think of this? And then we'll move on. Potential offensive coordinator, Dana Holgerson. Potential defensive coordinator, just keep Tony White. Potential special teams coach, Bill Bush.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think you'd have, instead of just paying top money for your coordinators, I think you'd have 2 of the top 10 coordinators in the nation. And then obviously we'd have to rally and see what we can do with early break.
Ooh. Well, maybe DP wouldn't like the idea I just threw out there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. As far as Nebraska winning games, that legit gets me excited. Like, it really does. Now, there's men here trying to win football games and retain their jobs, so we will move on. But Matt Rhule's got some tough decisions. I am as anxiously awaiting what's going to happen with our coaching staff. And hopefully there's a lot of wins left in this season. We're going to be dogs, probably all 3 games. All right, are we currently underdogs in all 3 games? Do you have you don't even have to look it up, Jake. We're going to be underdogs in all 3 games. So the odds are against us a little bit. Husker fans, at this point, I would take getting bowl eligible. Just winning 1 game. If I had my preference, I'd love to beat Iowa again. But I'd also love to beat Wisconsin, and I'd also love to beat them Southern California boys. So getting bowl eligible, which is just winning 1 more game. Again, we're going to be an underdog in all 3 games, probably 95% chance, and making the appropriate offseason moves. That's all I'm looking for at this point. If that happened, get bowl eligible, make the appropriate offseason moves, I would consider that success for now. What are your thoughts on that, my man, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting because a lot of people, and like you can still hear it, aren't, their goal is not 6 wins, right? I mean, your goal is to win 7 or 8, and with 8 still out there, I don't think we should be talking down it too much. But at the same time, I get it. You don't want to do more than 500, but you got to start somewhere. And some programs, see Indiana, they can jump out of nowhere and get there. But I mean, it's just been a long bowl drought. I'll take 6 wins. I'll take a bowl game. Coming in, go and then building, off of that in the future.
To be clear, this goes without saying. I want us to win all 3 games. Mostly just because then I would be right in my preseason record prediction of 8-4. And that's all that really matters is that I'm right. And if I'm not right, it's I'm going to blame the refs. I'm going to blame Jake. You know, it can't be my fault if I'm not right with my preseason record prediction. I'm going to blame 12-0 screen passes. All right, maybe that's too true to be funny. If you say something too true, it becomes unfunny. My point is, I'd love to go 8-4 for a bunch of obvious, doesn't need to be said reasons. But my point is simply this: the bare minimum. Everyone growing up had a bare minimum grade that they knew wouldn't get them in trouble with their parents. Okay, and then everyone wants the A+, of course. But there was that bare minimum grade. All right, the bare minimum is what I just outlined for me. And if we don't get that, we're going to move on to the next topic. All right. You know, I want to go actually to Nebraska volleyball, not just Huskers volleyball, the state of Nebraska volleyball. So, all right, we're doing Carriker's trivia today. I almost forgot to promote that. Ladies and gentlemen, Carriker trivia today. It's either going to be Thursday or Friday going forward. It's always one of those 2 days. Yesterday, I was talking so much about the offense and Holgerson, et cetera, et cetera. It got bumped to today. But Carriker trivia, I don't know what the questions are. All right. All I've ever made Jake promise me is don't make it about Broadway. Other than, I don't even know, like it's bye week. It could be about anything. All right. I hope it's college sports related in some way, shape, or form. But call in, see if you can beat yours truly. All right. I've gotten lucky so far. USC, UCLA, I'm 2-0. All right. But see if somebody can take me down. Maybe it can be you. And actually, where there's a prize we're giving out today. All right. So give the folks the number and give them the prize they can win, Jake.
So 424-645-685. You call in there. Try to be the first to take down Adam Carriker. The winner, it's a bunch of pancakes. It's Lincoln Center Kiwanis Club's 65th Annual Pancake Festival tomorrow from 7:30 to 1:30. So if you want unlimited pancakes, 2 sausages, OJ, and milk at Christ United Methodist Church, that's what you'll be playing for. And of course, if Adam wins, caller number 3, Adam plays for the people. Caller number 3 will be having themselves plenty of pancakes.
No matter what, there's still a winner, but you know, the coup de grace, the cherry on top is, you know, whooping my rear end sideways in a trivia challenge. So what's the number they can call, Jake?
402-464-5685.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, call in, call that number. We're just going to take the first call we get, actually. First person to call in and connect, you and me going to go mono-y woman, whatever is appropriate. All right, let's talk the state of Nebraska volleyball. All right, so Jake, trivia question for you.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Division I level, there's D2, there's NAIA, and there's JUCO. Volleyball teams across the state of Nebraska. How many of them are ranked at least in the top 16 of their respective divisions?
Wow. I know it's got to be a good number. So I'll throw out 4.
What if it's 0? What if this is just the waste? No, it's not 0. Way higher.
Just teasing. Volleyball's not good in Nebraska. No, it is. Let's go with 4.
7.
7. My goodness.
So here we go. The Division I level. You got the Nebraska Huskers. They're on a 20-match win streak. They're going to play Washington on Saturday night. They've beaten 9 top 20 teams this year, 8 top 15 teams, 6 top 10 teams, 2 top 5 teams, and a partridge and a pear tree. And they have swept 17 of their 24 matches this year. They're 23-1, and they've swept 7 of their last 8 matches. The next team, Division I, Creighton, top 5 for the first time, number 5 in the country for the first time ever. All right, they have not lost since September 15th. A month and a half ago, they have swept 12 of their last 14 opponents. Creighton and Nebraska, the Huskers. All right, D2, Kearney, 24-1, number 5 in the country. Also D2, Wayne State, number 10. NAIA, Concordia, number 2 in all of NAIA. Bellevue, number 6 in all of NAIA volleyball. And JUCO. All right, out in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, Western Nebraska Community College is number 16. So they're number 16, having a great season, but we're talking number 10, number 5. What else we got here? Number 2, number 6, number 5, number 2. We're talking top 6, everybody else. And obviously, Nebraska, Western Nebraska Community College, number 16, having great seasons. Volleyball in the state of Nebraska. Man, shout out to all of you ladies, having phenomenal seasons. We are going to head to break on that. Ladies and gentlemen, give them that number, Jake. See if you can take down yours truly. When we come back, we are going to talk recruiting. And I have not even talked about the first CFP rankings and potential matchups. And there is a legit possibility that Boise State, let me speak slowly, it's hard for me to do. Boise State could potentially get a top 4 seed. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
The McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Brentford plays Bournemouth at 9 a.m., followed by Brighton taking on Man City at 11:30 a.m. To cap off the Saturday action, Liverpool will take on Aston Villa at 2 p.m. On Sunday, Man United faces off against Leicester City, while Chelsea will play Arsenal at 10:30 a.m. You can catch all these matches and more at the McKinney's Irish Pub, your headquarters in Lincoln for English Premier League soccer at 8th and P.
Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Our Nebraska public school teachers make a difference in our communities. I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. I see it every day. Teachers connecting on a personal level with students and parents to support learning and growth. Our kids do better, community pride grows, Nebraska thrives. Our public schools rank in the top 10 nationally year after year. Strong public schools create strong communities.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
There are moments in life, surrounded by family and friends, when you realize this is what it's all about. For 65 years, the Rhule family has been creating jewelry to capture these precious moments, crafting one memory at a time to last forever. Now, join them in celebrating Rhule Jewelry's 65th anniversary with incredible savings. Enjoy up to 30% off engagement rings. And for a limited time, save up to an additional $700 on your ring purchase. At Rhule, they're more than jewelry. They're here to help you create moments that truly sparkle, surrounded by the people who matter most. Family owned, today, tomorrow, forever. Rhule Jewelry.
Fall is officially here, and Brown Shoe Fit has just the right style and comfort your feet deserve. Stop in and see a wide selection of all your favorite brands, including Brooks, Hoka, Echo, Keen, and many more. At Brown Shoe Fit, they'll take the time to measure your feet to ensure a proper fit. They also have the largest selection of Uggs and Hokas in Lincoln. Brown Shoe Fit, 66th and Q in Lincoln.
It's a bye week in Huskerland, but that just means more of a chance for us to broadcast more college football on 93.7 The Ticket. This week, we will feature a doubleheader in the Big Ten and the SEC. We will start at 2 p.m. when Will Johnson and the defending champion Michigan Wolverines head to Bloomington to try to spoil quarterback Curtis Rourke and upstart number 8 Indiana's perfect season. Then at 6:15, former Big 8 and Big 12 rivals battle for the first time as members of the SEC. As 5-4 Oklahoma looks to punch a bowl ticket by upsetting number 24, 6-2 Missouri. That's Michigan, Indiana at 2, and Oklahoma, Missouri at 6:15. Catch the action on the gridiron all season long here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking for affordable drinks and a great atmosphere this football season? Highball Bar has you covered. Whether it's pregame tailgating, postgame festivities, or in-game celebrations, Highball Bar is the place to be. With $4 beers, $4 mixed drinks, and more during their 4 to 8 p.m. daily happy hour, Highball Bar will quickly become your go-to place to sit back, unwind, and be your team's #1 fan. Highball Bar, located in downtown Lincoln, just 3 blocks from Memorial Stadium at 122 North 11th Street.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Before you start blowing and raking leaves this season, make sure you know where they go. Yard waste is not garbage, especially in Lincoln, where it's converted into earth fuel compost. All grass clippings and leaves must be separated from household trash from April 1st until November 30th each year. It's the law. Yard waste belongs in a paper lawn bag, or you may request a bin from your trash hauler who will pick it up for a small fee. Remember, no trash or branches are allowed in yard waste. Get the details at lincoln.ne.gov/recycle.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey guys, it's Austin with 93.7 The Ticket. We've got another NFL Sunday triple header for you, starting with the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Denver Broncos at noon. The afternoon game will feature the NFC East as the Dallas Cowboys host the Philadelphia Eagles at 3:30 Central. It's the visitors favored by a touchdown. Like last week, Sunday Night Football is a matchup between the NFC North and AFC South as Houston hosts Detroit at 7:15 p.m. You can catch all the biggest NFL games right here on Lincoln's home for the NFL, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. We've got a caller on the line. But before we get to my friend, segment 2 of the Adam Carriker Show is sponsored by our good friends at Mulberry Barbecue at 11th and Cornhusker. Open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m., ladies and gentlemen, to 8 p.m. Try their delicious Burt End sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, a full slab of ribs, a half-smoked chicken, and much more. Plus, incredible sides. Get fueled for your lunch today or make delicious dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, located at 11th and Cornhusker. All right, Jay, Carriker's Trivia Challenge. Week 3 is upon us. Who's on the line, my friend?
We have Joe on the line. Joe, are you still there?
I am.
All right.
How's it going, Joe?
Good. How are you guys?
I'm good. What's Nebraska's final record going to be? I'm just going to interview you the rest of the show. How's that sound?
That's fine. I don't know that they're going to go 8-4, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm a diehard Husker fan, but they kind of lost the momentum after our Super Bowl win there in week 2.
Yep.
But I think it's going to be 7-5, maybe,
right.
hopefully.
I would take that.
Yeah.
I would absolutely take that. All right. What's our challenge? What's our trivia here today, Jay? What is the topic? I don't even know.
Well, since there's a bye week, we'll just go with college football trivia in general, kind of leaders among the Big Ten in college football.
All right.
So get the music going. For those that
Let's
don't
light
know,
this candle.
3 questions for Adam, 3 questions for Joe. And then if we need to, we'll go to a tiebreaker there. We've been having, Adam, you go, what, have you been going second?
Yeah, they can still go first. They're the guests. Guests go first.
Guests go first. That sounds fair enough. All right, so Joe, we'll start with you. And these are either or questions, so you can't be too far off. Who leads the nation with 3,210 passing yards? Is it Ole Miss's Jackson Dart or Miami's Cam Ward?
I'm going Miami's Cam Ward.
It is actually Jackson Dart.
Those are actually the top 2 in the country. Way to go,
correct,
Jake.
Yeah. Harold Fannin Jr. is second in the nation right now, one of only 2 players with over 1,000 yards, and he's a tight end. So that's just kind of some fun trivia for you. But who does he play for? Is it San Jose State or Bowling Green?
Bowling Green.
That is correct. There is a point for Joe.
All right.
Which of these players leads the Big Ten in interceptions, Joe? Is it Coy Parrish out of Minnesota or Will Johnson out of Michigan?
Will Johnson.
It is actually Carriker of Minnesota. So, Joe,
1 out of 3.
you finished with 1. At least you predicted Nebraska will get 2 out of 3, so that's a good start.
Hey, we'll take that.
Yeah, so
you get that right, you win everything. You win life, my friend.
Well, as an LDS Grizzly parent, I was more excited to watch the Grizzlies this year than the Huskers right now.
I have no response to that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dave.
All right, so let's see. Adam, 2 to win, 1 to at least tie.
Okay.
Caleb Johnson leads the Big Ten in rushing with 1,279 yards. Who is currently second with 931 yards? Is it Kyle Monangai from Rutgers or Jordan James from Oregon?
Kyle Monangai.
It is Kyle Monangai. There's 1 point for you. Which quarterback leads the conference with 2,665 passing yards? Is it Dylan Gabriel of Oregon or Will Rogers of Washington?
Those are the two I would have, without you. Those are the two I would have been down to, like, without you giving me any options. I'm going to go Will Rogers of Washington.
It is actually Dylan Gabriel of Oregon.
All right,
so
big one.
You need this one
It's
here.
the big one.
Otherwise, we'll head to the tiebreaker. Which of these players leads the Big Ten in sacks with 9.5? Is it Kydron Jenkins of Purdue or Mikhail Kamara from Indiana?
You know what? I am going to go with, I can't pronounce his name, but Purdue.
Kydron Jenkins. It is actually Kamara from Indiana. So we go to the tiebreaker here.
Dang it.
The tiebreaker is a little bit of fun, having fun with Iowa. So reminder with the tiebreaker, we're going to have you throw out a number to the answer, and then Joe just gets to go either above or below that. If you get the number correct, you win.
So hold on. So he gets the advantage? Oh.
He pretty much gets the advantage, yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's light it. Light this candle.
All right, Iowa plays UCLA tonight, so we're going to do a little Iowa trivia here. Luke Lachey leads Iowa in receiving yards this season. How many yards does he have through 9 games?
Iowa actually throws the ball this year. They've actually scored 30 points, like 4 of their last 6 games. Through 9 games, they played 9 games so far?
They played 9 games.
All right. I don't think he's averaging 100 a game. So I'm going to go, I might have just given him the over-under. That's all right. I'm going to go with 800 on the dot.
800 yards. All right, Joe, we'll go to you to see if you can be the first one to knock off Adam Carriker. Is it above or below 800s, the amount of yards Luke Lachey has in leading Iowa in receiving yards?
Below.
He says below. The actual answer is...
Come on.
209 yards is all he has to lead Iowa.
Oh, my God. Iowa still doesn't throw the ball.
So, Joe, you are the winner, the first one to knock off Adam Carriker.
All right, good job,
in
Joe.
Carriker's Trivia Challenge.
Congratulations, Joe.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Love listening to your show. It's my lunch hour.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Joe.
Yes,
of course it'd be Iowa
Joe.
that would take me down. Frickin' Iowa.
Joe, by
All
the way,
right.
hold on the line. You'll now have your lunch hour is taken care of, and now breakfast will be taken care of tomorrow. Once again, from Lincoln Center Kiwanis Club, 65th Annual Pancake Festival. Joe is the winner there. By the way, too, last season, Eric All led Iowa. This is through their whole season with 299 yards receiving. So they just don't pass the ball around too much up there.
They're still scoring more points than us. Okay. Well, first of all, congratulations, Joe. All right. 2-1. That's the record. All right. Now, it's funny because like every Monday, I walk in here and I'm asked by people about the upcoming opponent. Like when it was UCLA, they want to know what are your thoughts on UCLA. And when it was Indiana, it was the same thing. Each and every Monday, I'm like, I don't really know about the upcoming opponent yet. Usually about Wednesday. Once Tuesday's show is over, I kind of close the book on the previous opponent. Usually about Wednesday, I start doing a ton of recon. And then I record a prediction show, and I come in here on Thursday, and I'm ready for that next opponent. I haven't really looked at Iowa a ton this year, and I probably won't. Maybe Tuesday, because that's always a Friday game. Maybe Tuesday I'll start looking at them. So, hey, he kicked my tush, and he spanked me like a 4-year-old in Kmart. Attaboy, Joe. All right, let's head and talk, maybe for the first time ever, at least the first time this year. No, I did it around National Signing Day, a little bit of Nebraska football recruiting, a little bit of update here. Now, Christian Jones, all right. Well, Christian Jones, I actually had him on the show. I interviewed him earlier this year on the Carriker Chronicles, but Nebraska currently has a 24th ranked class in the country, the 6th ranked class, just like I talked about. All right. And then I asked Kenny Wilhite about, I said, we've got about the 6th most talented team in the Big Ten. Guess what? We got the 6th ranked class in the Big Ten right now as well. 24th in the country. We're consistently top 25. We're top 20 more often than not. All right. We're going to be top 6 recruiting wise, more often than not in the Big Ten. So, like, after this year, and I don't want to get the cart before the horse, but you start to look at, okay, I'm getting the cart before the horse, and then I'm just going to visit this topic in another day. Do you realize how many players we lose after this year? What the offensive line looks like, what the D line looks like, what certain position groups look like? There needs to be some young players who step up, and there needs to be some action in the frickin' transfer portal. Now, it can be done. Schools have done it. Just look at the Who's Your Daddies, Indy frickin' Anna. They go from 3-9 to 9-0. All right, so it can be done. My point is, there needs to be some action in the transfer portal. Some of these young players need to step up that have redshirted this year, that have been developing, and that are going to be coming in next year. All right, but right now, as per normal, Nebraska's got the 24th ranked recruiting class in the country, 6th in the Big Ten. Class score is 88.4. The previous score was 89.61. Obviously, signing day, which is really in December, not February anymore, but it's early National Signing Day is in December. They did get rid of that second day, though, didn't they? Didn't they do something like that a few months ago? Say there's only one signing day. Jake's going to look that up. It really doesn't matter. Our whole entire class was wrapped up in December last year. I don't think anybody signed in February. So basically, December is the actual signing day. So obviously, there'll be some more comings and goings. You got Christian Jones, 4-star, top linebacker, top player in the state of Nebraska. Malcolm Simpson, another 4-star. Isaiah Mosey, a guy who could potentially come in 6 foot, 190 out of Lee Summit, Missouri. He could potentially come in next year, get some time on the field, see some play time. You got, all right, defensive lineman, Cade, 6'5", 240, going to need to put a little meat on, but that's a guy with a bright future. Petrek. Then you got TJ Latif, the quarterback, who's been committed for a long time up to this point. Juju Marks, who recently just committed to the Huskers. So there's a lot of guys with the potential to come in and do something. You never know what you're going to get. I said it a million times out of a true freshman. You look at specifically the state of Nebraska. All right, right now, from the state of Nebraska, there are 6 current, Nebraska kids committed to the Cornhuskers at the moment. And there's a couple of kids, one in particular, Chase Lofton, Millage South, Omaha, tight end, 6'6", 215, committed to Florida State. There's been some rumor and innuendo, so to speak, hopefully it becomes true, who's, folks are kind of expecting him possibly to maybe some point flip to the Big Red over here to the good guys. All right, there's a particular running back. I want to get to these stats here because they're really impressive, and I actually need to update them. I think they're about a week, maybe 2 weeks old. But 4-star running back commit Connor Booth has had an unreal senior season so far. And this is, again, I need to update this, but when I took the screenshot, it was either a week and a half ago of this tweet from @402Nation, so shout out to them. 184 carries at the time, 2,414 yards, 44 touchdowns, 13.1 yards per carry, averaging 268 rush yards per game, and he's averaging a touchdown on 1 out of every 4 carries. All right. So there's some talent coming in. There's reason for optimism and excitement. Matt Rhule's out recruiting right now, from defensive linemen to flying all over the place. All right. And I'm curious to see if we see any flips or any commitments here in the next week or two, especially with Rhule and the coaches out recruiting hardcore this weekend. But the number 1 player in the state of Nebraska, Christian Jones, is committed. Number 2 is Chase Lofton. We'll see what happens with him. Number 3, Pierce Mooberry, Millard North from Omaha, 6'4", 200-pound linebacker. Tyson Terry, all right, out of Omaha North, also committed. Jackson Carpenter. This dude, this is the prototypical Matt Rhule player. 6'2", 185. He's got decent stats. He's not going to be like that guy that his stats just jump off the paper like I just read with Connor Booth, but he's that guy that you're going to watch him. He is freaking athletic. He is explosive. He can jump. He's got speed. He's a guy that Matt Rhule likes to get in. That's an athlete. That's obviously a good football player, but he wants to develop into something much, much more. All right. Potentially a good to even better than that possible football player. And that's what he's done everywhere he's gone. That's what he tries to do. All right. So that's a brief, we got to hit break here soon, but that's a brief, all right, recruiting update and kind of where we're at nationally, where we're at in the Big Ten, where we're at recruiting Nebraska-wise. You look at, let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. I always take star rankings with a grain of salt. We got 5 4-stars. All right. I've ever since I was a player, I've always said, I don't really care who you are when you walk through the door. It's what you do once you're in the building. And I've actually never shared this story. I'll keep names out of it. I watched a 5-star running back from, I'm not going to say the state because people will figure it out quickly. I watched a 5-star running back do Oklahoma drill versus a very undersized walk-on kid from Lincoln, Nebraska. And I watched, and this is not something that happens all the time, but it's why I take star rankings with a grain of salt. I watched that kid, who eventually was a captain, that'll be a hint as to who he is, blow up the 5-star running back twice in a row. So I'm all about, hey, let's bring in talent. Let's bring in highly recruited kids. That's phenomenal. But there's more to it than just that, in my humble opinion. All right, let's see what else we got here. Left on the docket for the show today, we're going to head to break here quickly. I want to react to the first, and I'll go quick, to the first ever CFP rankings, potential playoff matchups, and then do some college football predictions for this weekend as well, ladies and gentlemen. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
With Raising Cane's to empower the next generation of artists. For a limited time, 2 exclusive double-sided Post Malone posters are available at Raising Cane's. So post up your combo at Cane's while supplies last and support a good cause. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through November 12th is $2 off all crackers, $2 off on grind, $3 off on salami, and buy one, get one free on stew beef. Limit of 2. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Transform your view with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything while keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best boxers on Saturday, November 9th with Vertex at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. fights are scheduled throughout the night. And if you haven't been before, now's the perfect time to go with Nebraska football on a bye week. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the Boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Fall is officially here, and Brown Shoe Fit has just the right style and comfort your feet deserve. Stop in and see a wide selection of all your favorite brands, including Brooks, Hoka, Echo, Keen, and many more. At Brown Shoe Fit, they'll take the time to measure your feet to ensure a proper fit. They also have the largest selection of Uggs and Hokas in Lincoln. Brown Shoe Fit, 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Whether you like fishing together or fishing to get away, for the thrill of reeling in a big one, or just going out to have a good time, on the banks of your local pond, at a bend in a river, or on one of our many lakes and reservoirs, you'll always find the perfect place to cast a line, here, beneath Nebraska skies. Start planning your next fishing adventure today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Carriker's still a little upset from having lost the initial Carriker's Trivia Challenge.
I don't handle losing well. I don't. I hate losing more than I love winning, if I'm being honest with you. Now, okay. All right, so here's the deal. True story. I used to cheat at Sorry and not Yahtzee, but Sorry. Like my mom would leave and I'd like move the pieces around. I'd give myself the extra Sorry cards, when I was a kid. And then one day came around and I finally realized I'd rather lose, with honor. That took a while than win by cheating. I got to ask though, because Sipple does something similar. Shut Up Sipple, right?
Yeah.
Do you know his record for this season on Shut Up Sipple?
We've got it actually written up there.
All right.
37-33 for Sip, a winning record so far.
I like how you said winning record. So I did some simple math. I see the board. That's a 52% winning percentage. What about all time? What is it?
So as long as they've been keeping track, he's been doing it for years. But what if they got up on the board is 108 and 86.
All right, 108 plus 86. I'm not doing this in my head. Trust me. 194. So 108 divided by 194. That's a 55% winning percentage over time. All I've got to say is that I'm 2-1, so my winning percentage is 66.6666. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like Sipple, if you're out there, man, I've got an early leg up on you, my friend. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted the Goldberg streak. I wanted to be undefeated. What was he? 173-0. The pro wrestler, he didn't lose for like umpteen years, and then they hit him with a cattle prod for real. By the way, I've read his book. They used it for real. He wanted it to be real. I digress.
Was that Kevin Nash that ended
it was Kevin Nash. Yeah. It was an awful way to do it. Then they did the finger poke of doom the next night. A lot of people don't know what we're talking about. You didn't miss anything. Trust me. It's why WCW is dead. All right. Let's do college football playoff rankings. You know what? Let's see if we have time for that. What I'd prefer to do, and if we don't have time, there's going to be new CFP rankings we can whine and complain about next week. So let's do this. I do want to talk about Boise real quick. That's the one thing I do want to talk about. Then we're going to do predictions for this weekend, and if we have time to analyze the rankings as a whole, that's cool. Or I'm sorry, the rankings, the matchups as a whole, that's cool. Number 1 was Oregon. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 3, Georgia. Number 4, Miami of Florida. But here's the deal. When you look at the actual seeding, like BYU right now is the highest ranked Big 12 team, 8-0. I actually think they're pretty good. Okay. But they would actually probably have the number 4 seed. Miami would have the 3 seed because you got to be a conference champ, a major conference champ. If Oregon were to win out and Georgia were to win out, so it'd be Oregon 1, Georgia 2. All right, Miami 3, BYU 4. But here's the deal. If BYU falters, much like Iowa State did, I would fully expect, all right, the BYU Cougars to fall below Boise State in the rankings. Now, here's what the top 4 seeding rules do not say. They do not say the top 4 power conference champions get the top 4 seeds. They say the top 4 highest ranked conference champions. And then it just guarantees that a group of 5 team will be included in the 12-team playoff. That's it. So there is a very realistic world. Boise wins out. Their only loss is at the number 1 team in the country in Eugene, Oregon by 3 points, 37-34. BYU, let's say they lose by 10 points. The Holy Wars tonight, right? Utah, yeah. BYU. Utah is not great. Cam Rising has submarined that team 2 years in a row. As much as I love that guy, they've depended on him, hasn't worked out. But what if they pull the upset in the rivalry game? Beat them by 10 points. Is it at Utah or BYU? Do you know?
It is at Utah.
Oh, man. That play's going to be crazy. Let's just say that happens. I predict Boise State would then be ahead of the BYU in the rankings, depending on how the rest of the season unfolds. Boise State, top 4 seed, first round bye. There's a very realistic possibility that could happen. All right, that was the major point I wanted to make. We'll do these predictions for the games this weekend, and then if we have time, we can whine, complain, and moan about the college football playoff rankings. All right, I do want to point one thing out, then Jake's going to bring up the games. All right, first, I can't believe this is real. Breaking. There will be a live Tiger at Tiger Stadium for LSU, Alabama. A live Tiger will be on the sideline for the LSU, Alabama game.
Is it Mike? Is it Mike the Tiger? That's their guy.
The only Tiger I know is Tony.
Oh.
I don't know. Is that his name?
Yeah, Mike the Tiger. That's their Tiger that they usually have on campus caged up.
What could possibly go wrong? Oh, I assume it'll be it doesn't say in a cage. It just says on the sideline. That's a rather small to gargantuan detail I need to know the answer to. If he's not in a cage, what in the world could go wrong? I'm going to assume he's in a cage. All right, Jake, what are these matchups we've got?
I think the biggest one, well, 2 big ones in the SEC. We'll start with this. Georgia, number 2 Georgia at number 16 Ole Miss.
All right. So for Ole Miss, this is an elimination game. They have 2 losses. Georgia's got 1. Georgia could lose this, especially with having won at Texas and still get in the playoff. But they're trying to win the SEC. They're trying to get a first-round bye, top 4 seed in the playoff. Ole Miss, if they lose, they're done. All right, they are. They have Jackson Dart, who Jake, during our trivia challenge earlier, leads the nation in passing. Cam Ward's number 2. Ole Miss is top 10 in the country in pressure rate, tackles for loss, sacks. They get after the quarterback. They're incredibly up and down. How in the world they lost to Kentucky, I don't know. Kentucky actually only lost by 1 point to Georgia. College football parity. All right. By far the most important player in this game is Carson Beck of Georgia. He was considered probably, if not the top quarterback in the country coming into the season, easily 1, 2, or 3. His completion percentage so far this year is not bad, 65% to 2,302 pass yards. All right, averaging 287 pass yards per game, 17 passing touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Now, here's the interesting stat. Carson Beck's Georgia. The first 17 games of his career, he had 6 interceptions, 31 touchdown passes. The last 5 games, he has 10 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. He's almost doubled his INT total from the first 17 games in the last 5 games. He's wildly inconsistent, wildly up and down. It comes down to if he plays well, they're going to win. If he doesn't, they won't. This game is at Ole Miss. Their backs are against the wall. Georgia's played the number 1 toughest strength of schedule in the country. Florida's number 2. I think at home, Ole Miss pulls the upset. Georgia's only a 2.5-point favorite. Anyways, I will say this. Georgia has scored 30-plus points in 5 straight games and 30 points in 7 of their last 8 games. So it's a very realistic possibility that Georgia could win. On a random sidebar, Jackson Dart, number 1 passing quarterback in America, more yards than Shadur and Cam Ward. Interesting sidebar here. Miami quarterback Cam Ward had only 1 scholarship offer out of high school as a D2 school. They won and did really well. His head coach goes to Washington State. That's how Cam ends up at Washington State. Now he's at Miami, and he's probably going to inevitably be a first round pick. It's why he plays the way he does. I love watching him play. I'm going to take Ole Miss in the slight upset. Next.
Yeah, like that pick there. Let's go with number 11, Alabama, at number 14, LSU.
This Alabama team is so up and down. They have the number one roster in America when it comes to talent composite ranking. They also had a lot of players transfer out. Two starters. Caleb Downs, safety, offensive lineman for Ohio State. 2 starters are at Ohio State. They were at Alabama. They had a bunch of other players leave. That's why they're basically all true freshmen, or a lot of true freshmen, and they're starting secondary. Their defense has been wildly up and down. Interesting stat, easy for me to say. Bama is 132nd in America at converting 3rd and long. 2 years ago, there weren't even 131 teams in FBS. All right, at 3rd and short, they're 10th in the country in converting. So by far the key to this game is 1st and 2nd down for Alabama. I would say 1st down. 1st down for Alabama. All right, Georgia body bagged Ole Miss last year, 52-17. But moving on to LSU, Alabama. This LSU team, Garrett Nussmeier, he's got 1st-round talent and 7th-round unpredictability. Like, the dude can light you up, and he can also give you nightmares if you're the offensive coordinator for LSU. All right, Alabama's offense is tied for 16th in the country in points per game. LSU's defense is 54th in allowing points per game. Total yards per game, Alabama's 37th. LSU's defense is 58th in the country. All right, 20-plus yard plays. This is also another key. Alabama's tied for 10th in the country as far as allowing explosive plays. LSU is tied for 49th in the country. But this is at home, Death Valley. They both have 2 losses. Some people think this is an elimination game, and it very well might be. I'm going to take at night, at home, LSU, because they're both unpredictable. I don't know what to expect out of either one, and I'm going to go with home field, especially when that home field is LSU's home field at night. I will say this. Final CFP rankings roll around. There's going to come a dilemma at some point. A 9-3 Big Ten or 9-3 SEC team and an 11-1 Big 12, 11-1 ACC team, and there's going to have to be a decision made. And I'm telling you right now, I would go with the SEC or Big Ten team, but I'm putting the cart before the horse. Speed round. What do we got left?
I was going to say, speaking of which, Miami and Georgia Tech.
Oh, so Miami could have like 3 losses, yet they're undefeated. They don't play defense. They play offense like they're a basketball team, so there's going to be points scored every time they play. Georgia Tech is the number 1 rushing offense in the ACC. Why couldn't you ask me questions about this in Carriker's trivia? Good Lord. Trivia challenge. All right, I'm going to go with Miami. They're a 10.5-point favorite. I've also seen them be behind by 25 points at Cal Berkeley this year, and I've also seen them beat Va Tech, who was barely 500 because of a bad call by the ref. So not a lot of confidence, but I'm going to go with Miami. Who's I hear the music playing. Who's Colorado got?
Colorado at Texas Tech.
I'm going to go Colorado. I just want them to win and get in the college football playoff because I do. And Indiana's 13.5-point favorite over Michigan. Who in the blue hell would have predicted that in the offseason? I'm going to go with Indiana, and I'm going to take the points. All right. Go Big Red Nose. Remember to throw the bones.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking for affordable drinks and a great atmosphere this football season? Highball Bar has you covered. Whether it's pregame tailgating, postgame festivities, or in-game celebrations, Highball Bar is the place to be. With $4 beers, $4 mixed drinks, and more during their 4 to 8 p.m. daily happy hour, Highball Bar will quickly become your go-to place to sit back, unwind, and be your team's #1 fan. Highball Bar, located in downtown Lincoln, just 3 blocks from Memorial Stadium at 122 North 11th Street.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, wanting to thank you all again for your continued service. November is off and running. Check this out. Get up to $12,000 off or 0% financing on select new vehicles. We have great lease specials with new Trax and Trailblazers starting at $299 per month and new Blazer EVs leasing for $399. Great payments, discounts, and of course, 0% financing. So make that short drive down 144th Street or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All finance with approved credit, leases with $2,500 down.
There are moments in life, surrounded by family and friends, when you realize this is what it's all about. For 65 years, the Rhule family has been creating jewelry to capture these precious moments, crafting one memory at a time to last forever. Now, join them in celebrating Rhule Jewelry's 65th anniversary with incredible savings. Enjoy up to 30% off engagement rings. And for a limited time, save up to an additional $700 on your ring purchase.